Had very high cytomegalovirus. I also suffered with polycystic ovaries. I had cystic breasts. I had chronic mycoplasma pneumonia, where every time the seasons would change, I would have an upper respiratory infection that, again, demanded another set of antibiotics, and the cycle continued with Candida. So, of course, as anyone could imagine, after all of this time, I developed adrenal exhaustion, and from that, I started getting heart palpitations every time I had a cup of coffee. And that, of course, was hand in glove with hypothyroidism. My thyroid wasn't functioning well. They wanted to put me on medications. And, of course, anyone who has had thyroid issues knows that you gain weight and you just can't take it off. And you're tired all the time. So, of course, with all the coffee as well, I suffered with chronic constipation. I always had PMS. And at a very young age, in my 30s, I had age spots all over my hands. I had wrinkles. I started aging. And don't even talk about my hair. I mean, it was just dry and brittle. It would crack off in my hands. So, of course, with all that, I ended up with some clinical depression. And it was at that time that someone set me up with some guy and had me meet him at this Whole Life Expo. Now, also understand, when you're under that kind of stress like I was at work, the only tools we had to work with were cynicism and sarcasm. And also, I did a lot of, because I had to deal with a lot of self-centered, greedy, egocentric people, of course I was becoming one of them, you have to use those tools. So the only tools I had was verbal attacks, and boy, I was good at them. And this was my whole persona. So when I got to this Whole Life Expo,